March is celebrated across the globe as the month of women, of girls, of females. It's Women's Month. We have been celebrating this for years now, but what does it really mean, especially for us women? What is Women's Month all about? What does it mean to celebrate womanhood? And is it all about women empowerment? What does it mean to be an empowered woman? How does one become an empowered woman? All these questions will be answered in this video. I too have a lot of questions, but we'll try as much as we can to get the answers that we all need to hear and know. Question number 1. What is Women's Month all about? According to the Philippine Commission on Women, Women's Month is a three-pronged annual celebration because it serves as a tribute to women, a platform for women, and a call to action for and by women. Women's Month is the celebration that highlights the extraordinary roles of ordinary Juanas in the society as trailblazers and harbingers of change. It is a very important campaign, especially for us women, that also serves as a call for concrete, sustainable, and inclusive actions towards gender equity. This year's theme for Women's Month in the Philippines is Juana Laban sa Pandemya, Kaya, with the overarching theme, We Make Change, Work for Women. Let's take a deeper dive into what we're really, truly celebrating every March of the year. Following the Philippine Commission on Women's directive on this celebration, it's all about women empowerment. Now, what do these two words mean? Do they mean being woke or being strong? If yes, in what sense? According to the Philippine Commission on Women, women empowerment means empowering women, which enables them to confidently and meaningfully engage with appropriate institutions to ensure that they contribute to and benefit from development and changes. Thus, women's empowerment will make the change that we are espousing or any development effort responsive to women's concerns. That is kind of a lot to process. But in simpler terms, women empowerment by definition means women being strong, women being safe, women being powerful, women being heard. The vision is to change the world and make it a better place for women. So every March, the goal is to celebrate and salute the heroic women who are doing something to change the unfair ways of the world, where empowered women empower women. Yes, it's all about us women. Wanna know why? Let's talk about that, shall we? A deeper dive into the celebration of Women's Month always involves the hard-to-swallow pills, which are topics surrounding the unfair treatment towards women at present for a better future. We discuss this by answering this question: how can we, women, become strong, safe, powerful, and heard, most especially during these trying times? Let us start with strong. Women empowerment has always been about breaking the barriers that have always made it hard for women to survive. One of the reasons for this is the inexplicable and unfair image of women. We empower women ourselves for a world where all girls, women, cis and trans have power and rights over their bodies and sexualities and have the resources needed to exercise these rights. We've always been treated as this inferior, meek, sweet, damsel in distress, human being when we are not. Our bodies, regardless of size or color, can withstand anything, especially cramps and childbirth. That says a lot. Women like me should envision a world where no one else but ourselves can have a say as to what we can and we cannot wear, or what we can and cannot say just because we are women. For so long we have been made to believe that Maria Clara was the image to follow. Soft-spoken, sweet, quiet, timid, always hiding behind a fan. Gone are those days. The modern Maria Clara is strong and brave and doesn't hide, but fights for what is right. And there's the word. We are still fighting. But soon I hope we will no longer have to fight, because the world we've envisioned has arrived, has happened, that we have achieved it, that we have become strong women, and that's just the beginning. The next question is, how do women become safe in these trying times? According to Mr. Gustavo Gonzalez, the United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator in the country, the COVID-19 pandemic is only one of the compounding crises that threaten women. Before the global health crisis, violence against women was plaguing 1 out of every 4 Filipinas who is married or has been married for at least once in their lives. And according to the United Nations Population Fund, there has been a 20% increase in domestic violence globally. You know what's tough to process? A study commissioned by the United Nations Population Fund approximates that violence among intimate partners will still increase by 16% in the Philippines. Add to the equation of this systemic problem is the reality that perpetrators and human traffickers are taking advantage of the economic hardships of Filipino families, where 73 million Filipinos use social media and, unfortunately, use the internet as a platform for cyber criminal activity like preying on women and minors. It's the hard truth that social media provides much room for abusers to engage in sexual exploitation of women and young people behind closed doors and in front of a webcam. Those unfortunate realities explain the need for Women's Month, the fight that we women find ourselves in. I envision that I could wake up every day and strive for a world where girls can go to school without the fear of being kidnapped or raped. A world where women can walk in dark alleys without the fear of being killed. A world where women can party without the fear of being drugged. A world where women are not subject to violence in their homes. A world where women's human rights defenders are not killed just for speaking up. These are the scenarios that we need to become safe women in this world. That was tough to discuss, but now we move on to another harsh reality for women. What does it mean to become a powerful woman in this society? You know what's sad? Women and girls around the world are more likely to live in poverty due to discriminatory and unjust economic policies, pervasive gender inequality, and instability. The truth is, the Philippines dropped 8 places in gender equality. Sure, it remains on top across Asia in terms of closing the gender gap. Our country dropped 8 notches from its place last year. We ranked 16th out of 153 countries with the narrowest gap between men and women, according to the Global Gender Gap Report 2020 of the World Economic Forum. The good news is women have been notably outnumbering men in senior and leadership roles, as well as professional and technical professions in the Philippines. And we are the only one of 4 countries to achieve this. These are all good insights, a positive outlook for Pinays. But we need to address the elephant in the room. The women in these statistics are those that have the resources to get there. We are talking about economic justice where all women, girls, cis and trans have a voice and choice in the work that they do. We need equal wages in safe and secure workplaces. We need to have access to justice and rights within the workplace and the larger economy. Considering these things, ask yourself, how am I really doing in the workplace? Am I being treated fairly in the industry where I am in? Do I have the same responsibilities, rights, and benefits like that of men? We celebrate Women's Month to continuously change the status quo on gender inequality every day in the hopes that we encourage women's leadership for a more sustainable economy in the future for the sake of economic justice across fields. Last question about women empowerment. What exactly does it mean for a woman to be heard? One word: leadership. When we talk about women empowerment, when we celebrate and or march every March for Women's Month, we are talking about human rights. A paradigm shift is necessary. We need more roles for women to stand up, to speak up, and to be heard and seen. We can no longer just stay on the sidelines. Doing so makes it harder to address and raise the concerns over systemic problems surrounding gender equity. It's very simple and basic. Come to think of it, particularly in the Philippines, it's necessary for us to foster a strong pipeline of diverse young women leaders. We need to fight to create opportunities for leaders from different generations and movements to learn from one another. A deeper connection between leaders is necessary for a greater understanding of the current problems we are facing and to come up with better solutions that will target the issues and help amplify the voices of women today and in the days to come. Like I said, the discussion on women empowerment involves very hard to swallow pills. We need to open our eyes. You need to lend your ears, your hands, and join us in this celebration, in this revolution for a better world for women. And now that we've talked about the essence of women empowerment, let's discuss what we can do to be empowered in our own ways. Here are several things that makes one an empowered woman. First, love yourself. Know your purpose, know yourself. Be confident and own your strengths, values, and principles. Love your entire self wholeheartedly. You need to take care of yourself because you cannot give what you do not have. Second, commit to continuous learning. Learning doesn't stop in the 4 corners of a classroom. Take learning into your own hands. Find ways to grow and develop each day. Keep reading and watching and consuming content and seize opportunities that will enrich your mind. The pandemic must not hinder you to do this. You can do it online. You can do it at home. Third, challenge the status quo. Challenge the rules and norms that keep women stuck. Learn to say no. It's empowering. I would do that at times, shall I say several times, especially when I cannot really fulfill the massive task. But I would say yes when I really can. Don't be afraid to speak your mind regardless of who's listening. Fourth, show vulnerability. It's okay. At times, well, We are vulnerable at times. We can be strong, but in showing vulnerability, you need to know your worth. Being empowered doesn't mean not having weaknesses. It doesn't work that way. Being empowered means knowing your weaknesses without being afraid for the world to know. What matters is you know your worth, you know your strength, you know your identity, you know who you are and what you deserve. Fifth, empower other women. A truly empowered woman empowers other women. Start by telling the women in your life that you care. Help a new mom. You can invest in small business owners and support women entrepreneurs. If you can, support girls and women in crisis. We covered quite a lot in this video. There's so much more that needs to be discussed and covered when it comes to women empowerment, but we do what we can. In my case, I want to inform every female listening and watching this video. You are a strong woman. We are strong. We are capable. We are beautiful. We are deserving of so much more than what we have now. The world isn't fair, but every March we celebrate womanhood. And we march for a better tomorrow for all girls and women out there. We got this. We'll make it happen. Thanks for watching this video. Happy Women's Month. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more engaging, informative, and educational content.